The first challenge began as the chief royal herald led all the competitors to a vast obstacle course built across the royal grounds. It was not a test of fighting, but a test of courage, wisdom, speed, and teamwork. The contestants had to climb high walls, cross swinging rope bridges, solve ancient stone puzzles, and rescue heavy bags of grain that represented saving the kingdom's people during times of danger. Many of the strongest warriors rushed ahead, believing that strength alone would guarantee victory. Kofi, however, remained calm and remembered Elder Malik's lessons, carefully studying each challenge before making his move. As the trial continued, several competitors became trapped by their own impatience, while others ignored contestants who needed help. When Kofi saw a young competitor hanging from a broken rope bridge, he stopped his own race to pull the man to safety before continuing. Some spectators thought he had ruined his chances of winning, but King Jabari smiled with quiet approval. Princess Zuri watched Kofi closely, impressed that he had chosen compassion over victory. Baraka reached the finish line first, raising his hands proudly, but whispers spread through the arena as the judges began discussing whether true victory belonged to the strongest man or to the one who had shown the greatest honor. The outcome of the first trial was about to surprise everyone. The entire royal arena fell silent as Chief Judge Amari stepped forward to announce the results of the first trial. Every competitor stood anxiously, waiting to hear the decision. Although Baraka had crossed the finish line before everyone else, the judges reminded the crowd that the competition was designed to measure courage, wisdom, honor, and compassion, not speed alone. Chief Judge Amari praised Kofi for stopping to save a fellow competitor, even though it reduced his own chances of winning. King Jabari nodded in agreement, declaring that a future king must always place the lives of his people above his own personal success. The crowd erupted into applause, while many competitors looked at Kofi with newfound respect. Baraka could not hide his disappointment as he realized that strength alone would not guarantee victory in the royal competition. Princess Zuri smiled quietly, impressed by Kofi's humility and kindness, while Kofi simply bowed his head and thanked the judges without boasting. As the excitement settled, the chief royal herald raised the royal scroll once again and announced that the second trial would begin at sunrise the following day. He warned every competitor that the next challenge would be even more dangerous and would test not only their courage, but also their ability to make wise decisions under great pressure. That night, as the competitors rested for the next trial, an unknown figure slipped silently through the camp, carrying out a secret plan that could change the course of the entire competition. As the first rays of sunlight reached the royal arena, the chief royal herald welcomed the competitors to the second trial. This challenge was called the Trial of Wisdom, a dangerous course filled with hidden traps, moving platforms, ancient riddles, and narrow paths that demanded patience and careful thinking. Before the trial began, Chief Judge Amari reminded everyone that rushing without thinking could lead to failure. When the royal horn sounded, many competitors charged forward with confidence, eager to finish first. Kofi, however, remembered Elder Malik's teachings and carefully observed every obstacle before taking a single step. His calm approach allowed him to avoid several hidden traps that caught many of the other competitors by surprise. As the challenge became more difficult, the secret sabotage from the previous night began to take effect. One of the wooden bridges suddenly cracked beneath the feet of several contestants, sending them scrambling to safety. Panic spread across the course as competitors struggled to continue. Kofi quickly realized that something was wrong and warned those behind him before crossing the damaged bridge one person at a time. His quick thinking prevented a serious accident and earned the admiration of both the judges and the spectators. From a hidden place overlooking the arena, the hooded saboteur watched with growing frustration. His carefully planned trap had failed because of Kofi's courage and wisdom, but he quietly promised himself that the next attempt would be far more dangerous.
The second trial finally came to an end, and the competitors returned to the royal arena exhausted but determined. Although many had completed the course, everyone was talking about the mysterious bridge that had nearly collapsed beneath them. Chief Judge Amadi ordered the competition officials to inspect the damaged bridge, and after a careful examination, they discovered that the support ropes had been deliberately cut. The shocking discovery spread through the arena, leaving the crowd in disbelief. King Jabari immediately ordered his royal guards to search for the person responsible, warning that anyone caught sabotaging the competition would face the kingdom's highest punishment. Hidden among the spectators, the hooded saboteur quietly slipped away before anyone could notice him. Later that evening, as the kingdom celebrated another successful day of competition, Kofi sat alone in the palace gardens, thinking about everything that had happened. Princess Zuri quietly approached him and thanked him for saving the competitors during the trial. Their conversation was simple but sincere, and for the first time, they began to understand each other's character. From a distance, Baraka watched them with growing jealousy, convinced that Kofi was becoming the favorite to win the competition. At the same time, the hooded saboteur entered a secret underground chamber beneath the city, where a mysterious masked figure waited in the darkness. Bowing respectfully, the saboteur whispered, "He survived again." The masked figure slowly stood and replied, "Then it is time for me to deal with him myself."
The next morning, the royal arena was filled with excitement as the chief royal herald announced the third challenge, known as the Trial of the Lion. Unlike the previous competitions, this trial would test the competitors' courage in the face of fear. The contestants entered a vast training ground designed to resemble the wild plains beyond the kingdom, where they had to navigate rocky cliffs, tall grass, hidden caves, and dangerous obstacles before reaching the final checkpoint. Along the way, they would encounter trained royal lions whose purpose was not to attack, but to test whether the competitors could remain calm, make wise decisions, and protect one another under pressure. King Jabari reminded everyone that true courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to do what is right despite being afraid. As the trial began, Baraka charged confidently into the course, determined to reclaim his honor after the earlier challenges. Several competitors followed him, but panic quickly spread when one of the royal lions appeared unexpectedly from the tall grass. Some contestants ran in fear, while others made reckless decisions that placed themselves and others in danger. Kofi remembered Elder Malik's lessons and stayed calm, carefully observing the lion's movements instead of reacting with panic. His patience allowed him to guide frightened competitors to safety without provoking the animal. Watching from a hidden place beyond the arena, the masked master smiled beneath his carved mask. He knew the trial itself was not the greatest danger. His own plan was already in motion, and Kofi was walking straight toward it without realizing it.